Hey, what's going on? All right, guys, what's going on? It is time to do this. Let's see here. Make sure I got my sound and everything all set up properly. Speakers there, microphones there. Looks like it's picking me up. Hey, what's going on, guys? Tuesday evening. It is Coach Bronson here answering all your questions related to health and fitness, ketogenic diet, fitness while you're ketogenic, being a fat-fueled athlete, high-intensity interval training, weight training, building muscle, improving your metabolism, losing fat, feeling great, reversing your age, all that kind of stuff. That's what we're here to talk about. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, or I get on here live every week over you to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So you guys are in control. You guys run this conversation. I will be quiet. I'm going to sit here in absolute silence until somebody asks a question. That would be a horrible live, wouldn't it? If I don't have something to fill the time with when nobody's asking a question, that I just saw somebody on Instagram. I don't know who you are, but that name is hilarious. Keto loser. If you're keto, you can't be a loser. So you need to change your name. I'm just kidding. I love it. Nice to have you on here, keto loser. Madam Joe Dragon. I don't know who you are, but anything with dragon has got to be good. All right. On YouTube, I'm breaking up. I don't know how to help. I don't know how to fix that, Mom. Everything looks fine on this end. Maybe the connection between the app that I'm using and YouTube isn't working properly. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, Keto Loser, I love it. I didn't even connect that loser would be like weight loss, fat loss. So that's fantastic. 220 pounds. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That's freaking awesome. Primally Balanced, good to have you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. If you have it, please let me know, guys. We love talking about stuff, mostly fitness, but obviously I'm the ketogenic fitness guy. So anything that is with how can you improve your fitness while you're on keto? How does keto actually help your fitness? What can you do to improve your fitness? Why is fitness important? All these types of questions. Why is having muscle important? What does it do for you? Any questions you have, just let me know. We got on, let's see, on YouTube and on Facebook, we've got Facebook user, we've got TM, Tanya, MJ, Jade. My mom's on. I can count on my mom being on pretty much every time I'm on, right? Meat based. I'm assuming meat underscore based with one S when you tried to make that, so you had to add two S's. That's awesome. I've been coaching for about 12 years, health and fitness, former CrossFit gym owner, currently back into CrossFit. I took some time off after I sold my Primally Balanced is asking a question. All right. Oh, we're starting off with some good ones, guys. All right. Fueling workouts on carnivore. Okay. What about recovery? Recovery nutrition. Is that what you're asking about, Primally Balanced, or just recovery in general? Fueling your workouts. Okay. A couple things. Fueling your workouts. The biggest thing you can do to make sure that you have energy energy through your workouts is increase your electrolyte intake. Okay, that's probably the biggest thing you can do. Increasing your electrolyte intake will improve your body's ability to access the fuel you have available. You don't need to worry about ingesting extra fuel. Enhance the process you already have. Utilize electrolytes, take some more, increase your blood volume, increase your body's ability to access fuel, all that kind of stuff, and you will see greater improvement in the gym. Okay. There are some studies. If you get Dr. DiNicolantonio's book, hold on, I'll pull it up right here. This is anybody that's interested in health and in fitness and nutrition with ketogenic diets. I'll hold this up here to this side, right? When can't really see it on YouTube because I'm blocking my background and it's messing it up. On Instagram, when Dr. DiNicolantonio, he talks about electrolytes being a better, and there's a couple reasons for it, a better pre-workout option than anything else. Okay. Number one, it is actually better. Number two, 99.9% of the pre-workouts that you can buy at the store that are labeled as pre-workouts don't do anything for you. It's all up here. Okay. They've done numerous studies that have shown placebos, stuff that doesn't do anything, with pre-workout products where the people thought they were getting, all of them were getting a pre-workout product, and all of the people that got the nothing but thought it was a pre-workout did better, just as the same level as the people that got the pre-workouts. That their improvement in performance was all because they thought they were getting it, not because they actually got it. So some stuff to think about there. If you're going to do a pre-workout, increase your sodium intake about an hour, hour and a half before you work out. Like take an extra two teaspoons or 2 grams of sodium, and you'll have a blast. A teaspoon or 2 grams of sodium. Okay, something like that. Pre-workout fasting. If you want to fast before your workout, that's up to you. I like to eat about an hour. If I'm going to work out, I try to eat an hour to 2 hours beforehand. What that does is it allows the majority of the major digestion in your stomach to happen, so that now you have the food in your intestines doing what it needs to do. When you work out, digestion slows down. Your body shuts down digestion. Okay. When you're done working out, you have it right there ready to go. Instead of going for your workout fasted, not having anything, finishing your workout, you're not digesting then, and then eating, and then having it take another hour or 2 hours to get into your intestine where your body can start using it. Okay. So I like to eat before my workouts personally. That's up to me. Not 30 minutes before. I give it time to break up and get there so I don't work out feeling like I had a brick in my stomach. But I like to eat. I do usually 2 meals a day. And one of those meals, there's usually a few hours before that meal I work out. And then I eat again, maybe an hour or right after, depending on the timing. So fasted workouts. If you're fasting and doing your workouts, it's very likely that you're thinking that you're doing things to improve fat loss, and you may temporarily do that. What you are in actuality doing is you are focusing on fat loss over at the expense of fueling your body and giving your body what it needs to function, which will then increase your long-term fat loss, which is where you want to be. Okay. Most of the time, if you're thinking about fasting, you probably shouldn't. Most of the time, if you're thinking about working out fasted, unless it's a schedule thing, it's a lifestyle thing. I don't have a choice. I go to work and then I have to work out, and then this, whatever. There may be some scheduling or lifestyle stuff or whatever that means. You just don't get a chance to eat before you have to get your workout in. That is what it is. You deal with it. You work with it. Okay. I'm never, unless you have absolutely everything fundamentally in place, consistent, I don't think fasting should be part of most people's intentional, on purpose habits and lifestyle. Okay. Naturally, it can happen. Doing it on purpose is a different conversation. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got? Bindu Joseph. Exercising at a low heart rate to burn body fat versus higher heart rate to burn glucose. Okay, let's not talk. Okay, talking about heart rate. All right, so all exercise burns fat. All exercise burns glucose. Trying to do one versus the other is pointless. The point of exercise is to improve your physical function. The fuel that you're burning is less important than the ability that you are developing. Okay. That means I want to be able to do things faster. I want to be able to do things longer. I want to be able to do things at heavier weights. I want to be able to do things at more complex movements. I want to be able to move at full range of motion. I want to have core control, spine control, hip control, ankle control, knee control, shoulder control. I want to have these things improve my quality of life every single day. None of that has anything to do with what fuel you're burning. Okay. If you, again, this goes back to this, it's the same thing with fasting. When we start talking about optimizing fuel utilization, we're missing the point. Thinking about fuel utilization means that you're thinking about what can I do to lose fat. When you are focused on fat loss, you cannot also be, in most cases, you can be, but when you're focused on and solely developing and making decisions about how you exercise on trying to lose fat, you are missing the point of exercise. Exercise is about improving your physical freedom. If you get fit, if you want to look fit, you want to get trim, you want to lose body fat, you want to build muscle, you want to get toned, you want to give yourself a fit shape, then get fit. Improve your physical ability, improve your strength, improve your range of motion, improve your endurance, improve your stamina, improve your balance, your coordination, your agility, all that stuff, and you will look like you're in shape. Because guess what? You'll be in shape. And you didn't do it by focusing on losing fat. Okay. So that's where focusing on fuel utilization is, again, you're missing the point. Focus on improving your function, how your body works, the things it can do. There's a phrase we call it's called work capacity. How much work in what environments and situations, because there's a lot of different ones, can you do? That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Hope that answers your question. Bindu Joseph 5. All right, what do you got? I am Anna Joseph. Oh, Bindu Joseph 5 is Anna Joseph. Hey, Anna, play the bass and eat meat. There you go. Ah, based. I got it. I play the bass and eat meat. I love it. Let's see. What else we got? Recovery nutrition on carnivore specifically. Okay. Recovery nutrition. It's the same thing, guys. As long as you're giving your body what it needs, you'll be fine. The number one thing from a nutritional perspective that you can do for recovery is, take a wild guess, eliminate inflammation. The second thing you can do is make sure you're providing your body with the building blocks it needs to repair. Okay. So eliminating food that is going to cause oxidative stress and inflammation in your body, mostly carbs, processed foods, crap, things that come in a box, not whole foods. Okay. And then increasing the intake of things like meat, animal-based, whole food, fat, and protein sources. Okay, that will improve your recovery, as well as we talk about sleep and some other things. Okay, overall stress reduction, stuff like that. But from a nutrition perspective, reduce your inflammatory food intake, increase your recovery food. We could call it recovery food, right? Protein stimulates anabolic processes. Protein plus fat stimulates anabolic processes. So you can utilize that as a recovery option, and it will help you feel better and recover better and do better. Okay. Meat-based, am I a fan of Element? Abso-freaking-lutely. I got 2 of them in here right now. Love it. For anybody wondering, I normally, when I have traditionally, most recently, I usually do between 6 and 8 grams of electrolytes a day, 6 and 8 grams of sodium, basically 6 to 8 packets of Element every day, plus whatever sodium, real salt, Redmond real salt, always, that I put on my food. Okay. Which is not a little bit at all. Okay. I have a 10-pound bucket. So I'm in the 8 to 9 to 10 grams of sodium per day range. That will probably be going up. We're probably going to run around 10 on average, maybe go up to 12. I recently started going back to CrossFit 4 or 5 days a week. So my energy level, my expenditure, my physical activity is greatly increased on a weekly basis. I'm going from traditional bodybuilding stuff that I've been doing, powerlifting, just basic barbell strength work, that kind of stuff. I've been doing that for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I took a break after I sold my CrossFit gym, got back into just regular traditional lifting. I'm going back to CrossFit. I'm kind of tired with that. Tired of working by myself. Want to have that community aspect again. Have some people I can go high five when I do something, high five when they do something, and have that support. So getting back into the CrossFit scene, joining a gym that I used to coach at, having a blast with it so far. And but because of that, level of intensity is going up dramatically. I'm also going to throw my electrolytes up some. So I will be in that 10 on average range, 10 grams of sodium per day, just in case anybody's wondering. Let's see what other questions we got here. Redmond Relight just joined. Imagine that. I'm talking about electrolytes and Redmond Relight just joins the party. Redmond, I feel like I should invite you to collab on this thing, right? Because you guys are awesome. If you guys don't have, if you guys haven't gotten any, go get some Redmond Relight. They got some great flavors, and they're awesome people. I love Redmond. They're the best. They make really, really good steaks on the grill too. All right, let's see. We got some questions on the other side. So you Instagram folks, I'm going to come over here to the YouTube folks for a second and see what questions we got going on over here. Let's see, Jade. Let's see. Thank you all. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for thanking me. I appreciate it. MJ, hi gang. Facebook user, hi Bronson. I really, really wish I could figure out a way for the Facebook folks to be. If you're on Facebook, could you please shoot your name so I know who you are? When you post, put your name in first or something, because all it says for me is Facebook user. Kind of a pain. All right, we got a question. Let's see if I can answer this one. Jade, I'm using glycine as a sweetener for my coffee. Was wondering how much glycine is safe in a day. That's the first time I have ever heard that question. That's a really good question, Jade, and I honestly can't say that I have an answer for it. You could probably do the same thing that I would do, and I would Google that and see what different sources are out there. Try to identify which ones seem credible. Maybe ask a doctor. That would be a great question for like a Dr. Barry or a Dr. Chafee, something like that. Dr. Nally. There's a bunch of doctors in the space. Dr. Westmith. There's a bunch of doctors you could talk to that may have experience with something like that. Dr. Schliffer, Dr. Gary Evolved, if you know who that is. There's a bunch of people we could ask. But that's honestly, I have no idea. Sorry, can't help you with that one. Let's see. We got another one. Still working up. All right, let's see what this says. Facebook user, still working out or will working out. Building more muscle, and staying keto carnivore, detox the liver and help cholesterol. Yes and yes, but not detoxing the liver. The liver doesn't detox, okay? The liver either is stressed out and overworked or it's not. That's really how that works, okay? The liver is often used in commercial marketing propaganda, for lack of a better term, and described as being a filter. It is not a filter. It is a converter, okay? The liver takes things that your body can't use and does two things with them. It converts them into something your body can use, or it converts them into something that your body can dispose of. Okay. So it's the job of the liver is to convert things so that you can use them or get rid of them. It doesn't filter things out. It is not a filter. It's not like your air filter that gets clogged up and you have to take it out and shake it out every once in a while and put it back in, or just replace it, whatever you do, right? You can't replace your liver. So I guess you'd have to shake it out, right? Detoxes are not a thing. Okay. So what you're looking for is you want to, again, decrease inflammation, decrease the extra work that your liver has to do through eating carbs, seed oils, and processed foods so that it can function and do the things that it wants to do, like provide healthy fuel, provide energy to your body, and all those other types of things without the extra work. Okay. Hope that answers the question. And that will also, in turn, the same thing for cholesterol, right? Cholesterol is good. If you mean cholesterol and you're talking about HDL, LDL, it may go up. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Triglycerides going down, that's what you're looking for. And yes, going keto carnivore should help your triglycerides go down. Okay. Hope that answers your question. All right, Tanya, we got another question here. A group of us are doing 75 hard, and one of the rules is to drink a gallon of water. Some of them are having problems doing that and feeling very bloated. Is that too much? It could be, it could not be. I don't know. The one thing about 75 hard that you guys need to understand is it is marketed to the masses, but it's not designed for the masses. Okay. It is a great way to buy into a method or a system of getting yourself started and getting going doing something. Here's the problem that I had with 75 hard. If you're currently not doing anything and you go to 75 hard to look at it as how you're going to start your journey, you are 99% of the chance guaranteed to fail, because you're going from nothing without any habit forming and trying to change everything overnight. That is a recipe for failure. Okay. So I'm not trying to get you to stop doing 75 hard, Tanya. What I'm saying is maybe you can take 75 hard that you guys are doing and instead of doing everything at the level that the program dictates, maybe take it and say, what am I able to actually successfully do and build a habit around that I continue, and then maybe do it again and add something to it the next time, that I continue and then maybe do it again and add something to it the next time, right? So look at it as a way of building into, as opposed to trying to change everything overnight. Okay. Andy Frisella did 75 hard personally himself because he's freaking psycho. And that's what he needed in order to get to where he was trying to go and to get him off of his butt and make some changes. Okay. It's not for everybody. And I wish it never became a commercialized thing, because I really think it sets a bad precedent for long-term sustainability in helping people develop habits instead of looking for challenges. Challenges are short-term, they are not sustainable. Building habits is where success comes from. Okay. As far as the waters, the amount of water, a gallon may be what you need. It may be too much. Okay. This thing here is, let's see, hold on. 20, the thing's worn off of it now, but I'm guessing this is probably 32 ounces, right? And I drink 3 of these, 2 to 3 of these a day. So I'm about 100 ounces a day. That's me. Okay. That may not be you. Right. Do what you feel is working best for you. Don't do what it's saying there just because that's what it says to do. Okay. That's one of the problems. That's the other problem I have with programs like that. They're designed on hard dictations of this is what you have to do. If you do this, you're a failure. That's bullcrap. Okay. That may not be for you. And forcing yourself to do that could cause harm. So no, if you feel like you're bloated and you feel like it's not working for you, then don't do it. Okay. If you feel like you can develop a habit of making sure that you're hydrated to the point that works for you, and that you only need half a gallon or 3/4 of a gallon a day to do that, then do that. The point of the rule is what you should be looking at, not the rule itself, if that makes sense. The idea of drinking a gallon a day is to make sure that you get enough water every day. So whether it's a gallon, whether it's 3/4 of a gallon, whether it's a gallon and a half, make sure you get enough water every day. Then you can say, check, I did that. I met the purpose, the intent of why that's there. And that can help you get around some of the stuff in 75 hard. Hope that helps. All right. Facebook user, let's see what we got here. We got a cortisol question. Cortisol is one of my favorite things to talk about. Okay. Spiking at night, waking up at 2 a.m. every night. What can I do to reduce? Oh my gosh. What can I do to reduce cortisol? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot. Okay. Lowering your cortisol. I don't know enough about your lifestyle to give you any specific answers. Okay. There's a handful of different things. Obviously, number one is overall stress. Managing and doing what you can to reduce your overall stress load. Secondly, I would say looking at your nutritional intake and making sure that you're getting enough magnesium, you're getting enough minerals, multivitamins, that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that you're eating a lot of red meat and that you're eating that red meat with fat. Okay, make sure that you're getting both protein and fat in your meals together, that you're not just eating a bunch of protein by itself, that your electrolytes are good, that you're not OMAD. Okay, that's something that I see too. People that try to do OMAD often have issues, can have issues with cholesterol or with cortisol. So there's a handful of different things. One of the things that I found that has been working for me, and this is just anecdotally, I'm not saying anybody should go do it, but it has made a difference in my sleep. Particularly, I haven't done cortisol testing, so I can't say it's because of cortisol. But I started taking ashwagandha about a month and a half ago, and my sleep has been really solid ever since I did that. It was already pretty good. I just wanted to see if I can make it better. I'm trying to increase my sleep quality, and I'm doing some other things to try to improve my testosterone. So playing around with some different stuff, experimenting, and taking ashwagandha to lower my cortisol was one of those things. And I have definitely noticed an improved level of sleep. So That's something you could also try as well. Then there's all the normal stuff when it comes to sleep. Weighted blankets, make it colder in the room, close all of the curtains, get some black lights, stuff like that. Turn off all electronics 30, 45 minutes before you go to bed, stuff like that. As far as cortisol specifically, I think overall stress, making sure you're getting enough fat with your protein is a good one. Remember that you need fat and protein to stimulate insulin, okay? And that's one of the big I don't want to say, I'll say misunderstanding, miscommunication when it comes to cortisol and keto. There's a handful of people in the keto space that are saying that we need carbs in order to reduce cortisol because carbs stimulate insulin. And when you are low carb for too long, then you can have an issue with cortisol. And that is true if you're not getting enough protein and fat enough times in the day to kick you out of ketosis. Okay. So this is one of the reasons. High cortisol is one of the reasons. If you are focused on being in ketosis all the time, you could give yourself cortisol issues. You do not need to be in ketosis all the time. You do not need to be in ketosis all the time. You do not need to be in ketosis all the time. Being ketogenic and using fat as fuel primarily, is not the same as being in ketosis. If you are ketogenic, you may not show as having high ketones in your blood. That means your body's actually utilizing the ketones and you're fine. You're ketogenic. You don't have to have high ketones. Having excess ketones in the blood means you have excess fuel in your body that you're in your blood that your body can't use. Okay? That's no different than having excess glucose in your blood that your body can't use. Not necessarily a good thing. Okay? So one of the things I would say if you're having issues with cortisol is eat some protein and some fat a couple times a day in good enough quantities that it breaks your ketosis. Go exercise at least once a day and increase your blood glucose through exercise, break ketosis, and you may see that your cortisol issues start dropping down. Okay. All right. Carrie's going to tell jokes. All right, Carrie, 431 days, no coffee or caffeine. That's awesome, man. Here's a question. All right, here's a question. All right, Yvette Schreiber just joined. I wonder if Yvette knows the answer to this question. Yvette is one of the owners of the CrossFit gym that I'm going to now. I can say my CrossFit gym, the gym that I'm a member of, top tier Columbia. Do you put deadlift on back or leg day? That's a really good question. And I will tell you 100% honestly, I've done both. There have been times where I put it on back day because my leg days were overloaded with some extra stuff. So I wanted to get the deadlift in, so I put it on my back day. I think it's pretty versatile. You can do either or. It really depends on what the overall program is looking like and what you're trying to do with it. Okay. I'm not even going to get into all the different variations of how you could play with that. But I think to answer your question succinctly, TM, you could do either or, as long as it makes sense with what you're doing. You're not overworking any one area so that you can't recover and do something again in that area within the next couple of days. But you can make that deadlift a back or a leg day, and I think you're fine. That's a good question. That's a tricky question. Like that simple question, we could sit for like an hour and talk about variations and impact of what that actually means. That's a good question. All right. We got any other questions on Instagram before we go over? Let's see. Okay. Anna's asking a question about my thoughts on pork rinds cooked in its own fat. Love them, but causes swelling in my hands and feet sometimes, maybe due to high salt. All right, Anna, I would say I don't know anything about max pork rinds. So I don't know what's in them. I don't know what they do with them. But I would say that if you're getting swelling eating them, then my opinion of them is for you, you probably shouldn't do it. Okay, that's the simplest answer I can give you. As far as where the swelling comes from, I have absolutely no idea. I can't help you with that right now. I don't know what's in them. There may be something in the ingredients that you're reacting to. If you think it's because of the high salt, and then you have to ask yourself the question, what happens when you do salt any other time? Okay. If you have an issue with salt, what is your hydration? How do you hydrate yourself? Are you hydrating with water and salt, or just water by itself? Right. Many times I work with people and they are drinking plenty of water, but it's all without anything in it. It's all just plain water. Okay. So what they're actually doing is now they're throwing off their electrolyte balance. So, and they're having issues when they start, I have no energy. I can't do this. I feel bloated. I feel all these different things. When they start drinking that same amount of water with electrolytes, everything changes, because now they're maintaining their fluid balance, because hydration isn't about water. It's about electrolytes. Your body having the right absorption or the right density of electrolytes in the fluid that it has. So when you just drink water, you're actually diluting that solution instead of supporting and maintaining that solution. So my recommendation for just about everybody is you should never drink water if it doesn't have electrolytes in it. Okay, something to think about. Let's see what else we got here. All right, that's all the questions on Instagram. Let's go back to the YouTube and the Facebook. When we're fasting, we're not slow. Carrie, I really don't know what to do with you, man. All right. Carrie's asking about 75 hard workouts. I don't know the details about what the workouts are, but if you're having issues with your back and your knee, then any workout you do, you need to make sure that you're figuring out a way to modify it to fit what you're doing. Okay. If they provide access to a coach or some kind of trainer or guidance where you can say, hey, I like to do this exercise, but I can't because of this issue. Do you have any recommendations? Then that's great. If they don't have that, then I would say find a program that has workouts that you can do at home with the guidance and the feedback that you can work with a coach who can help you figure out how to modify for what you need. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we got a question with numbers here. So if on a daily target protein, if my daily target protein target is 150 grams, does it matter if I eat 2 meals and my first meal is like 90, 100, or second meal is 50? No, it doesn't really matter. In general, guys, 99% of the time, I throw out 99 all the time because I'm basically saying pretty much all the time, unless there's some really specific issue, okay? As long as you get your protein in throughout the day, you're fine. Now, the only caveat to that is I recommend at least 2 meals a day, because in most cases, an entire day's worth of protein in one meal on a consistent basis, one day, not a big deal. If you do OMAD 5-6 days a week on the regular, you're going to run into some problems. You're going to run in potential blunting of your insulin response, which can lead to an increase in glucose from protein, which is not what we want. Okay. You could run into some cortisol issues from that. There's a handful of things that can happen when you're consistently eating a crap ton of protein in one meal. Okay. It could cause problems. I'm not saying it will, it could. Okay. There have been some discussion amongst some of the people in the sciencey space, right? Where they've seen some issues clinically from people that are super high protein. Now there's other issues with that, right? They don't have a lot of muscle. They're not exercising. They're not doing a lot of fat with it. It's mostly lean protein. So there's a handful of things that go with that. But just in general, I like to keep people at least 2 meals a day. 50-50 is probably the better way to go. But if you're going to have to split it up for whatever reason, it's more comfortable, do more in one and less in the other, or more and less in the first one and more in the other, then do whatever works for you. As long as for the most part, you're getting what you need in throughout the day, it really doesn't make a difference. Okay. Let's see. Can you check out? There's a Nutrition Made Simple guy who debunks low carb keto doctors. Let's read this. Hi, Coach. Can you please check out a channel called Nutrition Made Simple, who debunks the YouTube low carb keto doctors on saturated fat and cholesterol? I swear he scared the shit out of me. Okay. I'll go check them out, but I'm not sure what the amount of research that I've done and the amount of clinical experts that I've talked to and the relationships I have with doctors and scientists in the space, and the time I've spent doing the research for writing my book and all sorts of different things. I can tell you there's a very good chance that any of the stuff that this person has on this channel is probably crap. Let's see. John from Colorado. John I, what's up, man? KC, hey, coach. Chi Chow. Oh, let's see. Alcohol. Let's see what we got here. Hi, coach. Big shout out to you and your content. Because of you and your statement about alcohol in my book, I've managed to rein in my alcoholism. That is fantastic. That hits me right here. That is awesome. 6+ drinks a day, now to maybe 6 of them. That is absolutely fantastic. Is it, if it's Chi, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'll say Chi. That is fantastic. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. You got this. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. Shout out. That is awesome. All right. Thank you, Alana. 75 Hard Talk. I love it. All right. Ooh, here's a great question. Hi, coach. For a 5'5", 67-year-old woman, how much lean mass is reasonable? All right. For women at any age, here's what I want you to be at. And if you don't know what body composition is, then you need to figure out your body composition. I highly recommend getting an in-body composition scale. They are the best on the market, and they're the most accurate and consistent. And it will tell you how much body fat, how much skeletal muscle mass you have, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Lean muscle. Okay. Which we talk about. There's lean muscle mass, lean body mass, and then there's skeletal muscle. Okay. Different things. Skeletal muscle is the muscle that's actually attached to our bone that actually helps our body move. Lean mass is anything in our body, including bone, water, organs, blood, all that kind of stuff that isn't fat. Okay. So lean body mass isn't the same as skeletal muscle mass. When I talk about how much muscle you should have, I'm looking at skeletal muscle mass. Okay. The amount of muscle that when you go work out and exercise, the muscles that you're building there. All right. For women, I want you to get to a minimum. I want you to get to, and then from there you can go up, but I want you to get to 40% skeletal muscle mass. 40% skeletal muscle mass. So if you weigh 100 pounds and you get on an in-body scale and do your body composition, it should say skeletal muscle mass 40 pounds. That's what you're looking for. That's a starting point. Okay. So that should, I don't know how much you weigh, Facebook user, so that should give you an idea where to start. Okay. Here's a great question. Ethan Tripody, do I OMAD? How much of my 2 pounds of meat and 6 to 12 eggs a day are able to eat once? I usually do 1 pound and 6. I try to split it up evenly. So I do about 1 pound and 6 eggs per meal. Okay. Depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little, sometimes I'm not always feeling 1 pound, depends on the mood. Sometimes I'll do 12. And then if I'm feeling 24 ounces in a day instead of 32, so then I'll do 12 and 6 and 12 and 6. But most days it's we'll just say between 12 and 16 ounces and 6 eggs each time. I got to have the eggs, man. The freaking eggs. Oh my God. Runny eggs over top ground beef. Oh, it's the best. It's absolutely the best. My first meal of the day is usually around 11:30. And now with my new work schedule, it used to be around 4 or 5. But now I get home, I get changed, I go to the gym. I get home from the gym around 6:30. So my last meal of the day is usually around 6:37, which is later than normal. And I probably won't change that. It's just kind of how my life now is. That's the schedule I got to keep. So that's where that's at. All right, TM, let's see. We got the lean mass. Oh, that was Joyce. Hey, Joyce. All right. I hope that answered your question about the lean mass for your size, your age. Kathy P and AZ finally caught alive. Hi. I would think if push-pull style programming, the deadlift would go back to back. Yeah, you could TM the whole deadlift thing. I could go anywhere. Here's a good question. Janelle James. Hey, coach, I've been carnivore for 9 months, weighed 120 pounds. I started lifting heavy and gained 14 pounds, but I've gained inches in my stomach, no longer flat like it used to be. Any thoughts? Without sitting down and looking at what your food load looks like, what your lifestyle schedule, sleep schedule, stress load, what your programming is for your lifting, like how you're lifting, like there could be something you're doing that's, I really don't know if I can answer that question. There's a lot of things that could be impacting weight gain when you're carnivore. One of them is, and this is a big thing that I want people to understand, if you're gaining weight and you've transitioned 100, let's say you've transitioned to 100% carnivore and you start gaining weight, it's very possible that you needed to gain weight because you may have been under-nutritioned and your body is now being able to use what you're giving it and fix and repair and build like it wants to be. Okay. So that's something to think about. It's very possible you needed to gain weight. I work with a lot of women who have been under eating for years and they have great body composition. They get to that 40% skeletal muscle mass and they've got 20% body fat, but they are still weak. They still don't have enough muscle to support their quality of life. And so they need to eat more. They need to gain weight. They need another 15 or 20 pounds put on them. And that's a huge mind screw because they've been trying to lose weight for so long that they've lost their weight out of living a quality of life. They've lost so much weight. Okay. So quality of life is important. Weight means nothing. All right. As far as your stomach getting bigger, I don't know how. Sorry, there's not much I can do for this question specifically. Make sure that you're not adding a bunch of fat to your food. Make sure that your workout is well-rounded. Yeah, that's about all I got for you, Janelle. Sorry, I wish I could help you more. I mean, we could always sit down and get on a call and walk through all the details and see what's going on. If you want to do that, let me know and we can set something up. But from this information, it's kind of hard for me to give you any specific feedback. Ethan's asking another question. How far apart do you suggest 2 meals a day be? Whatever works for you, man. I think naturally most people that I work with get into about a 6-hour window, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours between their meals. 6 hours is probably a good spot. I wouldn't try to eat on purpose. I think if you're fitting it into your schedule and you are active enough and you're doing stuff and you're building muscle and you're trying to do all of these good things, getting good sleep, then you'll naturally kind of fall into a rhythm with what works for you. And you shouldn't have to think about it too much. All right. Limit of humans asking a question. Wouldn't eating all your protein in one meal bump up your insulin more? Potentially, yes. Here's the problem. And if you talk to Dr. Saibes, you go to my YouTube channel, guys, and watch the video I did with Dr. Saibes. He's done some clinical research with thousands of his clients, his patients, where he had a bunch of them go lean protein. And what happened was their insulin basically stopped responding to protein. Okay. He blunted their response of the protein. And again, I said, there's other things that come into play. It wasn't just the protein. It wasn't just the abundance of protein. It was the abundance of lean protein. So there wasn't as much fat with the protein. So your body responds to the combination of fat and protein to trigger insulin. So when it's mostly just protein, you will get a response, but it won't be as good, and your body will eventually stop doing it. Okay. So that's basically what we're talking about there. Again, I have a video of Dr. Saibes, the Carb Addiction doc, on my channel. Go check that out under the videos playlist, and we talk about it in that video. He talks about it a little more in depth. It's really good stuff. It's really kind of, didn't think about that. All right. Let's see. Chi is correct. Awesome. Chi, I love it. Nice meeting you. Thank you for joining. This is the feed. All right. Mohammed asking a question. Ooh, great question. What is the first food group you would tell someone to cut out if they have an autoimmune issue? For me, psoriasis. Seed oils, anything that comes in a box, carbs. Okay. Seed oils, number one. Anything that's got seed oils in it, if you're doing that stuff. Okay. Then second from that, anything that comes in a box that's not natural. That has anything in the ingredients, if it has an ingredients list, if it has anything in the ingredients list you can't pronounce, you shouldn't be putting it in your face. Okay. That's pretty much how that works. And those are the top number one, two things. From there, then we can start talking about carbs. Okay. Can you believe carbs aren't at the top of the list? They're not, because they're not the worst thing. Seed oils, processed food, those are the worst things. Fake food is the worst thing. All right. Hope that helps. All right. Let's go over to Instagram. I've been talking to the YouTube, Facebook crowd for a while. Let's see what we got here on Instagram. Stacy's on the meat-based nutritionist joint. That is freaking awesome. Hey, I love that. CrossFit early fasted protein before or after the workout. Totally up to you, man. See, Tolet, again, whatever works best for you. Here's something you guys are going to find with me in my responses. And a lot of my responses are going to be whatever works best for you. I cannot tell you what is best. I can tell you what I've seen work most frequently in the people that I work with. Okay, that's all I can tell you. This is what I've seen. This is what works for me. And this is what I've seen work for a majority of the people that I work with. That doesn't mean it's always going to work for you. So you have to be willing to experiment and see what's going to work best for you. If you're not sure if doing CrossFit fasted or doing CrossFit with some protein an hour before or doing CrossFit with some protein an hour after is going to work for you, play around with it, try it, right? Because I guarantee you talk to one person, they're going to say, I do everything fasted and I love it. You're going to talk to somebody else and they say, I do everything where I eat an hour before and I love it. So the answer is going to be one or the other, or maybe somewhere in between. You got to figure out what that is for you. Okay. The bottom line is get the nutrition that you need. Make sure your body can utilize the nutrition that you're getting. Okay. And then make sure that you're not doing anything to make your body do extra work to use the nutrition that you're getting. Okay. Those are the biggest things that you got to think about. Okay. Hope that answers that question. And I love that you're doing CrossFit, by the way, FYI. In case y'all don't know, I really like CrossFit. Okay. I've been doing CrossFit. I'm a CrossFit level 3 coach. I've been coaching CrossFit for 10 years. And I owned a CrossFit gym for about almost 6 years. And fantastic. I will always be a CrossFit guy. Never going to stop. It is probably the best program out there for the everyday person. Okay. Besides mine. But guess what? Mine's based on CrossFit methodologies and concepts. So there you have it. All right. We got any more questions? Just coming in hot. Yukon Cornelius. I eat 2 meals a day. Yes, sir. Let's see. What are my thoughts on OMAD? I think OMAD is a mistake for most people. There's that question. What are my thoughts on OMAD? OMAD is a mistake in most cases. Don't need to do it. Here's an interesting one. Hey, coach, any recommendations for forearm exercises? Yes. And I don't have it right here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I actually am doing some right now. Go to Amazon if you're looking for stuff to work on forearms, because a lot of times you get that elbow pain, right? Your forearm starts hurting. You get that golfer's elbow or that tennis elbow. Susie, go to Amazon and go to Amazon and Google and search for rubber finger spreaders. Okay. And that will be a fantastic thing. Basically, it's like you put the things around your fingers and it kind of makes your fingers go like this. And then you have to spread them out and relax and spread them out and relax. And it's going to work your extensors in your forearms. That's going to help improve your forearm strength. Okay. But it's in a direction that we don't normally work. Most of the time we're at our keyboards like this. We're at our mouse like this. We're not opening this direction. We're always going down in this direction. So opening this direction and having weakness in that area of the forearm is where a lot of our chronic pain, carpal tunnel, elbow pain, stuff like that comes from. So being able to work in this position, right? Even just doing something like this where you put your hand out in front of you, right? Spread your fingers wide and then try to pull back as far as you can. Hold it and then relax. Spread out, pull back, hold it and relax, right? That kind of a thing can help as well. Go the opposite direction that your hand is usually used to going in, and you'll start seeing some improvement. Okay. All right, guys, we have been on. This has been probably the longest one that I've done so far. This has been 50 minutes. You guys absolutely rock. I love the questions. Come in hot next week, guys. We got the same time. It'll be around 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. We'll be live. Keep me company because Coach Nat is gone for 2 weeks. I'm all alone for 2 weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay. But wish her, if you don't know who Coach Nat is, that's my lady. She is at the Keto Bikini Pro on Instagram. She is going to Orlando this weekend and then going to spend some time with her family in Atlanta. But she is killing it right now. She's going down to participate in WBFF's opening season show. In case you didn't know, she's a bodybuilder. Okay, she's a bikini pro WBFF. So yeah, she's kind of hot. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I miss her, so I'm thinking about her now. She's going to be gone for a couple weeks. So next Tuesday, I'll need you guys to keep me company. We will talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. In the meantime, don't forget that July 14th and 15th, Antithetic Baltimore, the one and only first time ever ketogenic health and nutrition full-scale conference on the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic in Maryland, July 14th and 15th. Go to antithetic-conference.com. Check it out. We've got just under 10 days, guys. 10 days. 10 days left for early bird registration, okay? $50 off per ticket. Please be there. Dr. Barry is going to be speaking. Maria Emmerich's going to be speaking. Ken Howerton's there. Jocelyn Riley, Dr. Hussey. My mom is going to be speaking. If you guys don't know my mom, let me tell you right now, you don't want to miss my mom talking about her journey as a grandmother, almost 70 years old, doing CrossFit, eating meat. Okay. You don't want to miss that story. Okay. Check it out. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next week. All right. Thanks for being on. I appreciate you.